Hey, what's up, ANC Youth? This is our last sermon recap for our sermon series called Building Project, as we've been studying through the book of Nehemiah together. Now, this past Sunday, we saw that the walls of Jerusalem were finished after 52 days, and we asked this big question of what are the lessons that we could learn from the finished walls. And number one, we saw that our faithful obedience points people to God. With Nehemiah and the Jews, when they finished the walls of Jerusalem, others around them saw not them, but God. They saw that God was at work, God's name was lifted up high. And number two, our second lesson that we saw was our doubt in self is overcome by our belief in God. You see, we doubt ourselves when we allow the disappointments and failures in life to define us. But what we need to do then is not just trust in ourselves more, because often that doesn't work, but to turn to God and believe in who He is and what He says about Him and about us. And number three, the last lesson is our wall of salvation is meant to be finished not by us, but by God. You see, the wall of Jerusalem will be broken down again, and everything else in life will fall apart one way or another because we live in a broken world. But our hope is that this wall of salvation and security was meant to be finished not by us, but by Jesus Christ. And that's exactly why He came down to do the work that we couldn't do. And that is the grace that we have received. And that is why we have our salvation. And so I hope that for all of us today, in the midst of all the brokenness or challenges or struggles that we go through, that we could look to our loving Savior who came down from heaven to earth to help us because He loves us, and to find hope in that. Have a good week.